From the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I set the candle down. I noticed the window was up, so he had come in by the shed. He kept a-looking me all over. By and by, he says, "Start your clothes. Very. You think you're a good deal of a big bug, don't ya?" "Maybe I am. Maybe I ain't," I says. "Don't gimme none of your lip," says he. "You've put on considerable many frills since I've been away. I'll take you down a peg before I get done with you. You're educated, too, they say. Can read and write. You think you're better'n your father, now, don't ya? Because he can't? I'll take it out of you. Who told you you might meddle with such highfalutin foolishness, hey? Who told you you could?" "The widow," she told me. "The widow, hey? And who told the widow she could put in her shovel about a thing that ain't none of her business?" "Nobody never told her." "Well, I'll learn her how to meddle, and looky here, you drop that school, you hear? I'll learn people to bring up a boy to put on airs over his own father and let on to be better'n what he is. You let me catch you fooling around that school again, you hear? Your mother couldn't read, and she couldn't write neither before she died. None of the family couldn't before they died. I can't, and here you're swelling yourself up like this. I ain't the man to stand it. You hear? Say, let me hear you read." I took up a book and begun something about General Washington and the wars. When I'd read about half a minute, he fetched the book a whack with his hand and knocked it across the house. He says, "It's so. You can do it. I had my doubts when you told me. Now looky here, you stop that putting on frills. I won't have it. I'll lay for you, my smarty, and if I catch you about that school, I'll tan you good. First you know, you'll get religion too. I never seen such a son." He took up a little blue and yeller picture of some cows and a boy and says, "What's this?" "It's something they give me for learning lessons good." He tore it up and says, "I'll give you something, but I'll give you a cowhide." All right, on to recalling the facts. Recalling the facts. The first thing the father noticed was the narrator's starchy clothes. The father said that the ability to read was foolish. The narrator, the boy, was encouraged to read by the widow. The narrator read from a book about General Washington. The father feared that next his son would get religion. The narrator does not seem to be frightened of his father. However, it doesn't really seem like he loves his father either. So I would say it's both A and B. The father had been away for a long time. The father was afraid his son would develop a sense of superiority, which means he would think that he was better than him because he could read, which shows that the father deep down feels inferior, and he feels threatened by the fact that his son learned how to read. The father was mad at his son and at those who taught him to read. None of the family knew how to read.